I had some leftover fudge, which when it melts, it turns into caramel. So I'm making this coffee toasted almond caramel tray cake. Super easy because I'm going to be using self-raising flour, 225 grams of it. 100 grams of white sugar and 100 grams of brown sugar, and 8 tablespoons or 2 sticks of room temperature butter, 4 eggs. Each eggs should be added one at a time to make sure that, one, you don't drop any shells, two, the egg is fresh. I always smell it and then put it in my bowl. In that bowl, I'm gonna be mixing it together before adding to our dough mixture, and about a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Beat that up just so the egg yolk and the egg white can combine a little better, and then into the flour and the butter also, and that is it. That's it. I'm gonna use the whisk attachment, and this is gonna do all the work for me. And because it's self-raising flour, if the flour is fresh, you know it's not gonna fail. I saved the sheets of the butter, and I learned this hack a while ago, which I was dying to try, and this is life-changing. The remaining butter can be used to butter the pan. I'm using 8x8, so I just buttered it and a little bit of flour. Now this is a non-stick pan, but just to be safe, I always do this because once I didn't and my dough was too sticky and it did not fall out. In a bowl, I'm adding half tablespoon of instant coffee, and mine is a little chunky, so I like to crush it up a little bit. This is gonna melt, but still. And then 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. This is gonna be like our mid layer, making it just taste a little better. And the dough is basically ready. It kind of looks like buttercream. I like to tap the attachment just to get like some of the dough off because nothing can go to waste. I'm adding in half of my dough, and if you make this recipe and using an 8x8 inch pan, do not be worried that it looks like there's not enough dough, because it's gonna rise. It's gonna rise a lot, maybe a little too much. Like mine, I got fresh self-raising flour just a couple days ago, and it's like really fresh, so it raised up a lot, and it might raise up so much that it's gonna be hard to bite into, so I did have to use a fork. But who complains about fluffiness? Not me. And I'm just gonna layer evenly my coffee sugar mixture on top of this, and then we're gonna spoon in the remaining of the batter, because if I were to just dump it in and then try to spread it, it would pick up that coffee mixture and it will be all over. So I need it to be covered and safe to spread. So I'm just spooning in. You could do this with a ice cream scooper. I've seen it many times. I feel like that is unnecessary. There's gonna be a ton of remaining on the ice cream scooper, so I just use the same spoon I put the bottom stuff in. It's just easier, and also I'm using the same spoon to spread it evenly. Now I have less dishes to wash. I'm also preheating the oven to 350, and I'm gonna be baking it for at least 30 minutes. You might need an extra 5 to 7 minutes depending on how strong or weak your oven is. And I'm gonna toast my almonds, sliced almonds, 1.5 cup, no oil, no butter, nothing. It's gonna very slowly toast on its own. This is the leftover fudge that I did. I have a recipe up. This is the golden goose of fudges. It's so easy, so simple, and when it melts, it's gonna turn into caramel. I'm gonna be using about 2 cups equivalent to caramel sauce. It's gonna toast very slowly, but once it's starting to look golden, it's gonna toast pretty quickly. So you want to keep it at low temperature, but not too low. So we still want it to be toasty, but not burning, because it can burn very fast. And I'm adding half of my fudge, which is going to be the caramel syrup. So that's 1 cup about. You can either make caramels from scratch, or you can use a caramel sauce from a jar. Just mix everything together so it holds the almonds together. Now when this fudge, it melts, it's going to be saucy. runny, but when it dries, it's gonna be crunchy and it's gonna hold together, almost kind of like a brittle. It is deadly dangerous because this two combo with the fudge caramel and the toasted almonds, it's like eating drugs. Yep, that's what it is. It's addicting. It's so delicious. Ugh. Yeah, it's dangerous because it can be very, very addicting. So be cautious. I'm putting this on top of my cake very fast because it's cooling down pretty fast. And then I'm gonna melt the other half of my fudge, which is gonna be the 1 cup sauce. If your sauce is already melted, I guess you can skip melting it, but melting it will make it more runny and it will evenly like coat and drizzle down to the deeper pockets of the almonds. So just drizzle everything, and for me it took about maybe 6 minutes to completely cool. This is so delicious, so fluffy. I did have to eat it with a fork because it was too tall to bite into, which is still fine. But I do love using self-raising flour. It's just so convenient because there's so many recipes online that tells you to put this, and that, and then it does not turn out as fluffy as it was promised. With self-raising flour, it's always a safe choice. Some people don't like it because they can make the same thing from home, but you know, if you don't have the proper correct recipe, use self-raising flour. Nothing wrong with it. I love it. You can use the same recipe for muffins. You can use muffin tins to make the same thing. So delicious, so cheap. Like this whole thing costs less than $6 to make.